Hey y'all, welcome to SoulsReaperHealing. Today I'm doing a collective water sign reading. Kind of see what the energies are after we've had this eclipse. And, you know, with that being Scorpio energy, water sign energy. A lot of changes going on with everyone. But let's see. First card out was integration number 30, which equals a 3. The frequency of integration supports our embrace of every aspect of ourselves, allowing what we perceive as positive and what we perceive as negative to harmonize in a balanced symphony of life. And that's from the Sacred Geometry Activations. Next card out from the Black Moon Astrology was a 29, which equals an 11, and that's 5th house, creativity. Next card, hold on, let's do this one real quick. This is from the tarot, from Voyager Tarot. I asked the energy for water signs, what they're standing in currently, and this can also represent subconscious, what you may or may not be aware of. Was the 4 of Wands. Top of the card says aspiration. It usually represents home, stability, if I can say it. Thanks to Mercury retrograde. Good thing about Mercury retrograde, though, is it gives you the time to look back, you know, on where you were as to where you are now. It also gives you the time to make different choices. Maybe look at decisions that you've already made and make some adjustments. The next 2 cards out from, it's not Soul's Journey, this is the Numerology Oracle deck. First card was number 1, New Beginnings. And I don't know how you guys have been feeling, but I really feel, feeling that new energy. Lots of changes and things going on. Second card for this row was number 8, Manifestation. And then the 3 on the bottom are the things that we are working on or currently working on and aware of, or working on and not necessarily aware of. It can be things that's in subconscious that you don't see that's the specific thing you're working on, whether it's a pattern of belief or a pattern of behavior. Right below New Beginnings, the first card out was Growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. Next card, Judgment, under the 4 of Wands. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. And the last one was Regret. I know that I cannot change the past. It's kind of hard to see that one. And we've got 3s, 9s, 4s, 11, 1, 77 over here. Bottom of the deck of the Sacred Geometry was number 9, Allowance. Frequency of allowance invites us to be open to whatever comes our way, without judgment, without opinion, without fear, and without resistance. When we allow, the universe becomes our partner in the wondrous dance of existence and expansion. I was seeing a lot of 9s last night. The bottom of the numerology oracle was the 77, spirituality. Bottom of the Black Moon Astrology is water element sensing, number 4, which we are, this is for water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Water represents our emotions. Adversity, I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. This was on the bottom of the Soul's Journey, which are the clarifying oracles that I use for current things that we're working on. And the first thing I got with this was, some of you may be having certain regrets about things that you manifested in the past. Because now we're coming into a greater understanding of how manifestation works and that we create what we are within. So, if you do have certain regrets within you, understand, you know, and we all need to understand this. I'm a water sign sun, and I have other water placements in my chart. But understanding that if we are in the energy of regret, if we're in this energy, we will create that. But the first thing I got right off the bat was that some of us may be looking at things that we manifested in the past, because we are kind of in that retrograde energy, and maybe having some regrets of the things that we created, things that we manifested. Also, asking you to not have regrets about the things that you manifested. Understand that we are all here to learn. We are all learning. We all make good decisions and bad decisions, but the important thing is that we're not beating ourselves up over things that we have manifested. This is a school. We're learning, and we're going to make different choices that will lead us down different paths, and it's going to create certain trials for us to see those patterns within ourselves. Kind of what I feel this judgment is here. You know, right under the Four of Wands. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. So, judgment of yourself. But also having a greater understanding that everyone, like the card says, everyone has their own path and challenges, and we have all been through certain things, but things didn't happen to us, they happened for us. The majority of the things were creations, you know, things that we brought into fruition. But I feel with this judgment, casting judgment upon yourself over your house, you know, over the things that you've created in the past. Feeling judgment, energy, decisions maybe with you know, house and home. Fours are your stability. A lot of us have gone through a lot of changes, which has, you know, rocked the foundation of who we thought we were. And now we're starting to see we're starting to see more clearly of who we truly are. Releasing a lot of the old patterns of belief about ourselves, because those were basically beliefs that were not our own. Things that we have been raised to believe, or things that you witnessed as a child growing up, and then we in turn recreated that same thing within our own lives, within our own foundation. And being very judgmental over ourselves about, things that we've created in our own lives. But, we have to understand that this is how life is. It's a process. It's understanding that we are going to have good choices and bad choices that we make. It's just a matter of what you have learned in this lifetime. Are you applying your past lessons to your current reality? Are you remembering those things so that you can make changes to your life right now? You can change the things that you used to do, because those were old patterns. And I really feel like that's what this is saying too, is that water signs have been working on this. The regrets, the judgment, understanding that, yes, I've made decisions and not thought about it and manifested certain things within my own life. But I was the creator of that. I manifested that. I created that. But they're asking us to not be so hard on ourselves, to release these regrets, create a new manifestation, plant the seeds for new manifestation, release the regret. We are our own worst enemy. We create, when we are hard on ourselves, we just manifest more of that. And we're in a position to where right now, with this Scorpio energy, that with the moon, the blood moon, and the eclipse, I feel like with that eclipse, we eclipsed this out. We allowed it to go. Because that's why this growth card is here as well. Because we're in new energy, new beginnings. And this growth card, I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. We are in new creative energy with this creativity card up here. Everything is starting over. These are old patterns of belief. Old things that we used to tell ourselves. Being a harsh judge on ourselves or others. And being in turn, being regretful for the judgment that we have given to ourselves or others. We are letting these patterns go, or have already released those with the moon energy, with the eclipse energy. Eclipsing those out, not recreating the same pattern. Like the allowance card says, being more open and allowing to the things that are coming in, releasing the fear of that. Knowing that whatever you create, you can change it. And not being so judgmental about yourself if you make a decision and it turns out not the way that you wanted it to. Releasing that judgment upon yourself. Being allowing for things to change in your life, because we are in new beginnings right now. We are in new energy right now to create the things that we truly want in our lives. To manifest the things that we truly want in our life. Asking us to be more mindful in our spirituality, and to practice more more loving of self, and taking time to yourself to step into your spirituality and embrace that, and take time to meditate, take time to give yourself that self-love that you need. Being allowing of things to change without resistance. Resistance is another that we've been working on, releasing instead of holding on to things. But we are growing, things are changing. We're stepping into new beginnings. We're changing the way that we manifest. Some of the water signs, with this Four of Wands, that has to do with your foundation. Some of us are starting from ground zero. We removed all of those old patterns of beliefs, those old things that we used to tell ourselves about ourselves, which wasn't true, so that we could start from a firm foundation, start manifesting from a firm foundation, and creating things that are stable, things that are not going to collapse under any type of pressure. We are manifesting firm foundations, new beginnings. And with this adversity and the water element here, we're also looking at adversity from a different viewpoint. Yes, there's always going to be challenges in life, but when we, whenever we have challenges come into our life, we are changing the way that we look at them. Instead of being so hard on ourselves and manifesting more of the same adversity, we're releasing that. We're stepping more into our emotions, more into a loving state, and being compassionate with ourselves. Being more creative with the energy, allowing it to flow more freely, being more open to our guidance. And right now, with that integration card, that's what the energy that we're in currently is the integration. We're integrating the old with the new. The things that we have learned. That's what I mean by the old. The lessons we have learned, we are integrating those into our current reality, because those are our tools. Those are the things that we've learned that we need to integrate into our current reality. So when we come across adversity, judgment, regret, whether it's your own energy or the energy of another, you're stepping and growing into this and understanding that, you have the tools. We have the tools to make the changes that need to be made. And we're, like the magician energy, we're taking that energy of those lessons and we're integrating them into our current reality and using those, utilizing the lessons that we have learned from the patterns of behavior that we have learned from anything that you were stuck in before we went through this moon. You're releasing that stuff that doesn't serve you, and the stuff that does serve you, you're integrating. But a lot of us did release with that moon. Very powerful moon. I don't know if you guys had a lot of intensity with that, but I know myself I did. It was pretty intense. The 2 days prior to a couple of things that needed to be released within myself, and I kind of feel like that's also what's going on with water sign energy. These are things that you wanted to release in the moon with the eclipse energy. You wanted to eclipse this out of your life. And if this is something that is outside of you, from others, judgment and regret, but you're looking at it differently. You're looking at it, you know what, I've grown. I'm not allowing others to be judgmental over me or make me feel regretful for the decisions that I've made, because those were things that I had to learn. Those were lessons that I had to figure out within myself, because we all know that, you know, someone can tell us something over and over and over again, but we will not understand it until we decide, hey, I've got to change this. You know, I've got to do something different, because, you know, doing the same thing over and over again is the definition of insanity, and we know this. So now we're making different decisions, and we are being more open with ourselves and our emotions, but we are also being discerning and understanding where we need to place boundaries, you know, where we need to put certain things, you know, that we have learned, where we utilize those. And instead of reacting the way that we used to react to certain situations, we're reacting in a more positive sense, because at this time we understand we don't want to put out negativity, because what you give is what you get. So if you put any of that out, you know, as within, so without. Whatever is within you will be projected outside of yourself, and it will show up in your environment. Others will project that energy to you. We're just more discerning and understanding of whether it is us that is projecting that energy outside, or if it's another projecting onto us. On the bottom of the deck, I didn't say this earlier, the bottom of the tarot deck, the very bottom was the Man of Worlds, which is the King of Pentacles. And when I set the deck down, it slid up a little bit, so I wanted to see the card that was underneath it, and it was the Emperor. So that's the, you know, along with the Four of Wands, that is also the energy that the water signs are currently in, is Emperor energy, masculine energy, also Aries, and then with the King of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy, earth energy, you know, Pentacles. Hold on one sec, guys. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, I was talking about the Emperor energy and King of Pentacles. That is also time, energy, and effort. So what we put our time, energy, and effort into, we are addressing, you know, we're being more open to new experiences and changes, but also standing in Emperor energy. King of Pentacles, reliable, hardworking, but we're doing it in a different way. We're utilizing our spirituality and being open and allowing to receiving, instead of the old way of doing things, you know, nose to the grindstone, you know, just working super duper duper hard and overexerting yourself, giving more energy than you're receiving, and ultimately draining yourself. And so we're changing the way that we do those things with this allowance. You know, we're working with the universe. We're becoming, you know, we're allowing without resistance, stepping more into our spirituality. So I'm going to go ahead and read this integration card from the Sacred Geometry and see what that has to say. 30. The Sri Yantra is an ancient symbol that literally means sacred instrument. It is formed by 9 interlocking interlocking triangles that form 43 smaller triangles in a grid that represent the entire cosmos. This complicated and precise geometry is thought to hold an create powerful energetic patterns and has been used for thousands of years as a tool for meditation and devotion. The Sri Yantra also symbolizes the union between the divine masculine and the divine feminine, where the upward triangles represent the male energies and the downward female energies. The center point represents the junction between the physical universe and the source. The dark blues refer to the vast and deep universe as the origin from which everything springs into being. The yellows and golds refer to our inner power and the way we express ourselves on this earth in a physical body. Red is the color associated with the first chakra, the physical plane, and everything form-based. The light blue triangles represent the balance between the masculine and the feminine, and the swirling circles in the background are the other dimensions and star systems beyond this earth that are at our origin. The energy of integration supports our journey through a dualistic reality in which we continuously search for union and completion, both within and without. Its frequency reminds us that our manifested world can only be when every aspect has its opposite as well. Only when we integrate everything that comes to us, when we embrace every aspect of ourselves and of everyone and everything around us, can we find an inner state of equilibrium. So that's, that falls into that allowance as well. Open and allowing, balancing energies. Okay, so yeah, that one does. It ties in very well with the spread and what I was talking about throughout the video about how we're changing the way that we manifest, the way we create, the balance of the masculine and feminine energy. Like I was talking about with the Emperor, we're using the Emperor energy, but in a balanced state with the King of Pentacles, because he is grounded and balanced. Makes great decisions, firm foundation. That kind of energy is what we are in. I'm going to read this 29 5th house creativity, and it'll also give me a reference to what tarot card this one is. This card represents the 6 of Cups. Every child is an artist. The problem is staying an artist when you grow up. Be happy. Give yourself the gift of happiness. If the zodiac has a fun house, it would be the 5th house. Pleasure, creativity, and children are all elements of this house. Being ingenious and in the limelight is another element. We find our childlike imaginations through storytelling and fantasy. Playing is very much what the 5th house is all about. That's why this part of the chart also rules over romance, especially the beginning stages. As children, our imagination knows no bounds, and we indulge in creative performances. When as adults we dip into this field, we allow our minds and hearts to roam free and produce masterpieces. When the 5th house brings romance, we also enter into a kind of playfulness, a sensual joy that happens inside the playground of adulthood. This card turning up in a reading indicates you have created or will begin to create something to be proud of, something that will bring others joy. It may have you on stage or just an area where adults can let down their hair and become as children, responsive, joyful, and free. You can expect the completion of a project or the accomplishment of a significant goal for which there will be a celebration. You have put hard work into a project and will now see the results. Gifts, parties, gatherings, premieres, galas, or even a wedding may figure in. You can become involved in a school setting with children or mostly young adults. Since the 5th house is a natural house position for the sign Leo, someone close to you, a potential lover, a mate, or the two of you together, will make a striking appearance. It's time to go out and be seen. This card may turn up during the time of a budding romance. Perhaps your current relationship will go through a positive transformation, or perhaps there's a new potential mate on the scene. The 5th house is also strongly tied to artistic expression, meaning art of every kind, from painting to drawing to creating stage sets, costuming, writing stage and screenplays, making films, as well as music. If you're a parent, the 5th house stands for your children. It also stands for other offspring, such as grandchildren, sometimes even the friends of your grandchildren. This card turning up can indicate that a younger relative is about to be singled out for special acknowledgments. The Jupiter card, Jupiter, yeah, because Jupiter's expanding right now. The Jupiter card appearing next to the 5th house card in a spread points to awards and rewards. Okay, so there was only one card and the other one was water. While the Saturn card next to the 5th house card can indicate a depression or the slowing up of energy of the feeling of being stuck. If it were the Leo or Neptune card, it would designate creativity and abundance. 5th house card is all about finding joy in creativity and self-expression with promise of a jubilant return to childhood. It can denote a carnival-like atmosphere where life becomes a 3-ring circus, but usually in the best possible way. It is all about multitasking, taking on more than is expected, and then making a spectacular success of it. This is the card of the mastery and victory in a deep way, such as that which you already carry inside your heart. All is possible now. The most important thing is to move forward. So that one goes well with this new beginning card and growth, because we're stepping into the new energy, the new life cycle. Because we just finished up a 12-year cycle and we're stepping into a new cycle. So new beginnings, lots of changes, utilizing the things that we have learned thus far, integrating those into our lives, making changes and rolling with those, being in a more childlike state, feeling joyful and abundant and just having fun, as you did when you were younger. The energy is a lot different than it has been for me personally. So I feel like water signs, you are feeling that same energy with a lot of changes, but feeling a lot more grounded now than before. Because that moon, I'm here to tell you, for me personally, that moon was very intense, but not overwhelming, just enough to allow all of us to let go of those things that we were holding on to, those old beliefs and patterns that, we thought were our own, but were not. So this is what I have for you guys today. I do feel like I need to read this number 1 new beginning card, though, because this is the energy that we are in, or you are stepping into. Ever since we had the eclipse, this is the prevalent energy right now with the new beginnings. So let's see what it says. This card indicates a time of new beginnings where there will be plenty of opportunities to create a fresh start. These opportunities play a very important part in catapulting you to where you need to be. So it's in your best interest to follow them wherever they may lead. By drawing this card, you're being encouraged to find the inner strength and courage to step into the unknown, to feel the fear and do it anyway and create a brand new life. New opportunities may present themselves in the area of relationships, home, or career. There might be a chance to move, study, or travel, or embark on an exciting new endeavor. Regardless, you must pay attention to the signs and seize the moment when it arises. When you're open to new beginnings, the universe will send you the next logical step to take. In order to improve your current situation, you're being asked to adjust to and harmonize with the natural rhythm and cycles of your life. Cycles that are leading you toward an exciting new beginning. So be optimistic and ambitious, and move with the changing tides. Embrace the mystery in the unknown, and you will make your dreams come true. I like that. I really do. I embrace new beginnings and make my dreams come true. That's the affirmation for that card. So if you guys would like, you can utilize that affirmation along with your other affirmations. If you have those that you say to yourself daily, that is another good one to maybe integrate that affirmation as well. But I hope this resonated. If it does not, either way, I thank you for your likes, shares, and subscribes. I thank you guys for hanging out here with me for a little bit. And I will see y'all soon.